outside of the strip, there ain't nothing going on.
You ain't
there.
never been around with nobody that move around there to know.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
You got it. I'm just
I can't agree with that.
I can't agree with that.
Maybe
I
you're
don't
right.
know nothing else
Maybe
besides
right.
South Beach. They gonna be like, that's just because you ain't moved with nobody that's really from around here.
Yeah.
That's why I say, would you ever? Because I done moved out of my comfort zone. Would you ever like move out of yours? Because it seems like Florida is your comfort zone. Like you ain't really ever stepped outside of that, other than visiting places.
Yeah, I don't know. I would if I felt like it was a business thing. Like if I could make more money in another state and there was something for me to do, like
you about to move to Cali, you know that.
Hell no.
You about to move to Cali.
No, bro, I love guns. I love guns too much to be
you
out
can
here,
bring
bro.
them with you. You got a whole different license.
No.
You can't? You're not licensed?
Not really?
Yet?
No, it's
Yeah,
so hard to
you
get a
can.
license out here.
No, you can bring them with you. If you have your
Oh, you could bring them, but it's like you can't really... I don't know, bro. In Florida, I just feel like I got my guns, I got my cars.
Out there.
I'm saying.
I got cars. Like, I hate the traffic here.
You got to take risks. So you mentioned like, well, we're not even going to get into that yet. So, all right, your life, did you play sports or anything?
Nah, bro, I hate sports.
I'm saying, you hate sports? That's
bro,
strong.
people think that's crazy, but like growing up, I like skated and then like when I started playing sports, I was so bad at them. Like there's just something like I can't catch a football, I can't hit a baseball, I can't shoot a hoop. Like I just wasn't good at them, bro. Like I just couldn't pick it up, and I just didn't care about it.
Yeah.
And people are like, bro, they'll kill to win, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, if you really want to win, like I'm just trying to eat Hot Pockets after this. You know what I mean? Like it ain't that serious.
Go ahead.
But that's probably like the beginning of me feeling like that, like I'm not good at anything. Like I don't have a thing. Like most kids have something. They either like art, they like sports, they like some shit, you know? Like I never had nothing. And that's why I gravitated to drugs. Because when I started doing drugs,
that's what I was going to
it was like somebody picking up, like Tiger Woods picking up a golf club for the first time.
So you say you gravitated to drugs. Is that why? Because you weren't good at anything? Did it cause some type of depression? What led you, and what age and what drugs were you on?
So the first time I ever drank, I was probably like in second grade, and I was just like at a family party, and like I just always wanted to do what the adults were doing, bro. Like I just didn't want to be in like the kids' room doing what the kids were doing. Like when I saw the kids drinking and partying and having fun, that's what I wanted to do. Even at second grade, no one gave me a drink. I literally walked over to the wine coolers and started drinking the wine coolers. And then when I got drunk, everyone thought it was funny. Like, oh, bro, this kid got into the wine coolers. And then like all the kids my age were like in the other room, like sleeping or playing video games. Like I thought that was corny. And then fourth grade, cigarettes, fifth grade, weed, seventh grade, coke.
On a consistent basis, cigarettes, or you slip water too there?
I mean, I would smoke cigarettes from like fourth grade to like seventh grade here and there.
Here and there, but what did...
I was consistent probably after seventh grade.
Yeah, okay.
Seventh grade, I was smoking a pack
because I was smoking weed the fourth grade, so
I mean, I was smoking weed from fifth grade till ninth grade or eighth grade. I was smoking weed consistently every single day.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So it's like...
Well, actually, in seventh grade, I stopped to focus on sports, and I only smoke on the weekends.
Yeah, I mean, sports is the number one thing that keeps kids out of trouble.
Yeah, that's what motherfuckers.
So it's like I never had that.
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, it's like partying and fucking off and shit. That was the shit that I wanted to do. And I only stopped smoking weed because I got arrested and had to start getting drug tested. And if you drug test, weed is the worst drug to do. So I just started figuring out what drugs come out your system longer or shorter, and that was coke.
Was one of them.
Yeah, so coke comes down like 24 hours. So I just started doing coke. And then the margins with coke were so good that it's like, damn, I should just be selling coke.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that happened.
So you went from coke, and then where did you learn how to cook the coke and smoke it?
So if I give you like a backstory, like seventh grade, like I'm hanging out with like people in high school, I'm going to parties. You know, even though I'm like 12, 13, I'm driving. Like I love cars. I've always been driving. No one taught me how to drive. Like, you know, I was just one of them kids. I'm sure we all grew up with someone like this kid was just off the chain. I was just off the chain. And later on, I got into weed. And then when I got arrested, I got into coke. And then when you're selling coke, you know, you just start meeting different, like when you start doing coke, you start meeting people who sell other illegal drugs. And I remember my boy was like, yo, come to this crack house. This dude wants to buy fire yay and he'll cook it. And I remember being like, cook it? Like, what are you talking about, bro? You know, and the first time I went there, I was probably 14 years old. And in the hood, green pool, no furniture, no lights, people walking around with candles. And I used to think I was a player. Like back then, like I was going to nightclubs. I used to wear like fancy clothes. Like I had all the bitches. Like I thought I was the man. And when I went there, I'm like, what? Like why the fuck are we at a crack house, bro? And I remember I went there, and this dude was like, yo, this is my boy. He's the one with the fire powder. And I remember they call it like hard and soft. That's the first time I heard soft. And I was like soft, you know, what's that? And then this dude, I sold him a little bag, and he did like a little line, and he was like impressed. He was like, "Damn, bro, this is like
real
that
dope.
fire."
That's that hood
I
dope.
remember he said, "This is that premium powder," because like I was pretty snobby about like coke. I wouldn't just do any type of coke. And then he cooked it and smoked it. And when I saw this man smoke crack for the first time, I was 14 years old. I looked at him and I said, I would never in my life do that shit.
So you 14 years old running around with a bunch of blow.
Yeah, I mean, when I say a bunch, in my mind, I thought I was Young Jeezy. Like in my mind, I was
You had
like,
to have enough for him to want to go and cook that shit down.
yeah.
Man.
I mean, I would have like a
what would
quarter.
you
I
cop it?
was
Like a
probably
quarter?
copping a quarter. I would
You
cop
could
a
cook
quarter.
though. You could
Yeah,
cook,
you
hey.
could cook a crumb, bro. I've seen people cook a fucking little thing on a
I
spoon.
say crackheads cook
Yeah.
themselves real quick.
It was just like the dope man was looking for some fire, yay. This is how the story started.
Yeah.
Like,
A quarter,
this shit's
you
about
gotta
to get
think a
good.
quarter-
It's like, nigga brought over, hey, if they put that shit together.
a quarter break down into like 20 rocks though.
Yeah,
You
well,
need
well,
25
I
rocks,
thought he was gonna be
like,
pissed 'cause
If it's pure.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying if you cook and you get a quarter, you 25 like dubs. You probably get 20 dubs about that.
Well, I thought he was going to be pissed because when he cooked a little bit on the spoon, so I remember he put it on the spoon, he put some baking soda on it, he heated it up with the lighter, and then he got the torch. He had like a torch, he hit it up with a torch, and then he put it on a block of ice.
Some ice.
And he cooled it down.
You were
And it-
freebasing.
Yeah.
I know how to cook dough.
And then like a little piece came out, and I was like, "Damn, he's gonna be mad." And he smoked that little piece, and I was like, "Like you just bought a gram of coke to get a little crumb of crack, you know?" And I remember he smoked it, and he was like, "Bro, this is fire." And I remember I looked at him, and I was like, "I'll never do that shit. You got me fucked up. Like I'm not smoking crack. Like why am I here?" And I went there a couple times, and like the first time you go to a crack house is weird. The second time is more normal. The third time it is what it is. And I think it was the fourth time I was there, I got skimped on a bag and I was coming down. And there was this old guy and he had like, dude, this guy had no teeth, 40 years old, homeless man. He was in the crack house. And I remember I was like, yo, you want a line? And he was like, does the bear shit in the woods? And I didn't know what that meant. I was 14 years old. I was like, I don't know, dude, did you want a line? And he did a line. And then when I ran out, he still had some crack. And he was like, you want to hit this? And I remember I was like, does the bear shit in the woods?
Yeah.
And I smoked crack for the first time at 14 years old. And the first time I smoked crack, I knew I would struggle with this for the rest of my life.
It was great like that.
I knew I would never buy powder ever again. And I never did. And I smoked crack for the next 3 years.
That's crazy. So from 14 to 17.
Chasing earringers.
Chasing earring, bro. When that shit fucking rings, that fucking train comes. Bro, you go into another dimension, bro. Like, bro, when I was smoking crack, it was
smoked crack.
good.
So I
shit,
don't know.
smoked it.
That
But
shit
I've
take
been
you
around
to
it.
another
I've
place.
I seen it.
I've sold it. I've had family members around it. Like, and when I
I've
was
tried
fucking
a
with
lot
it,
of
selling
drugs,
it was
though.
dying. You know what I'm saying? Like, crack died out, bro. Like, there's so many other drugs and
I
shit
mean, that
people
shit's
are
still
on.
popping right now.
But no, for
Yeah.
sure, you know. But I'm just saying, it's not like how the crack game was really
Yeah,
hitting.
it was popping.
You know what
It
I
was
mean?
popping. But let me tell you something. You go to any hood in America, and 9 times out of 10, you ask for dope, they're selling you crack. 9 times out of 10, you can't buy all these other drugs on the corner. They're selling crack 24/7 in every single hood, or they're selling fentanyl or some type of opiate. Those are the two
sure.
drugs that run the market.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
the opiates took over. Like
That's all I'm saying.
It's
Opiates
crystal
took
meth
over.
and opiates.
So let me tell you
Crystal,
something.
the new crack.
Yeah, that's the new
Yeah.
crack because it keep you up longer.
A month later, I got addicted to opiates at 14.
So you
So a month
speedballing.
later, so it's like crack was a full-time job. Like when you're addicted to crack, it's like it's so mental. It's crazy. Like obviously opiates are like physical, but the mental addiction with crack, like if I think about it long enough, I can taste it. I haven't smoked crack in 15 years. If I think about it long enough, I can taste crack.
That's
You know what I
crazy.
mean?
What's
so it's
the-
like
what's the
I have
taste?
tastes like Coke.
But it smelled like burnt rubber.
Yeah, because you got to burn the
it smell
copper.
like shit.
You
Yeah,
gotta
that shit
burn.
smell like
There's a
burnt
drawer
rubber.
in my house that got painted with like an acetar or something. I don't know, like some type of paint thinner.
Yeah,
And
and
when
it
I open the
smells like
drawer,
dope.
it gives me flashbacks.
Yeah,
Till
yeah, it
today, I
smells
don't
like
even
a
open that
brick,
drawer.
right?
I'm like, what the fuck was in this drawer, bro? You know?
I need everybody to check out nojumper.com. We officially started a blog. It has in-depth articles about current events, music, etc., plus all of our content in terms of podcasts, interviews, etc. And you can get some exclusive new merch if you check out nojumper.com. So make sure you tap in.